Hi guys, welcome to iFashi. Today's video I'll be showing us how to make a cargo pant pocket. First, we're going to start with cutting it out. This totally depends on how wide you want yours to be. So on this, my fabric that I've folded into two, I'll be marking out 9 inches wide. 9 inches on both sides, 9 inches wide, 9 inches in length as well. So that at the end of the day, after folding in and sewing, I want it to be the pocket to be 8 inches wide altogether. 8 inches wide, 8 inches long. That's why I'm marking out 9 inches, because I'll use 1 inch to sew on both sides, like half an inch on both sides to sew. So then I'll cut it out. This 2 piece I cut out is for one side. I'll go ahead and cut out another 2 piece for the second side. Now after cutting out this pocket, the next thing we'll go ahead and cut is the cover of the pocket. Since I cut 9 inches for the pocket, I'll go ahead and cut 10 inches for the cover, because the upper part of the cover is a bit wide, longer than the pocket itself, while the down part that will be on top of the pocket will be equal with the length of the pocket. So after marking 10 inches on top of the cover of the pocket, I'll slant it to measure up with the size of the pocket that I have. And then for the length, I need it to be 2 inches long. That's why I'm marking out 3 inches, because after folding, I'll have 2 inches left. So for this cover as well, I'll go ahead and cut out 4 pieces, 2 for each side, because we'll be turning it out. So after cutting out the pocket and the cover, the next thing we'll go ahead and cut now is the side of the pocket. This cargo pocket has fabric on the edge, as we know, but it is very small. So I'll go ahead and cut out 2 inches, because at the end of the day, after attaching it, I want it to be 1 inch wide. So I cut out 2 inches. I'll cut 2 pieces of this, because this one doesn't need to be turned. So it's one will serve for the left, one will serve for the right. So all together for the both pockets, I'll cut out 4 pieces. Now this is what we have. I have 2 pieces each for each pocket, and 2 pieces each for the cover, and then I have 2 pieces for the sides as well, 2 pieces for the side of the other one as well. Now after cutting out this, the next thing we'll do now is to go ahead and go to the sewing machine and start turning them out. So now this is the cargo pants that we will be attaching this pocket. We have already made these side pockets, and a tutorial of how to make this side pocket will be posted soon. But this video is about the side cargo pockets, not the normal side pockets. So we will just go ahead and add the side pockets. First thing is to turn out this pocket itself. So this particular piece I'm holding is the main pocket. Now we have 2, because we will be turning it. Now this other one here is the one that will attach to each side of this pocket to give us that lift on the side, while this other one is the cover of the pocket. The longer side will be on the top, while the shorter side will be the side that will be folded down. Now we'll go ahead and make a stitch on the sides and the shorter side, which is the down part. The longer side that I said is the upper part. We will not stitch it just yet. So you just watch this video and follow as I'm doing it for you to understand it very well. So I went ahead and made a stitch on the sides and the down part, and then you remember to always notch before folding, turning it over. Now after flipping it over, we will make a top stitch. So we will top stitch this part that we just sewn. You can do single top stitch or double, but I did double because this is cargo pocket. There's nothing wrong if you run a double stitch on a cargo pocket. Now this is what we have after making that top stitch and after turning it over and making our top stitch. So like I said earlier, the longer part will not be folded or turned, because it will be the part that will be sewn on the trouser itself. So after doing that, the next thing I'll do now is to make a stitch on this pocket itself, which I just did. make a stitch on the top part, notch it. After notching it, before you turn the sides, introduce this piece that we cut that will serve as our side. So you put it in between, as you see me doing in the video. Put it in between, wrong side facing one side and the right side facing the right side of the pant pocket itself. So then you run a stitch. You repeat this on both sides of the pocket. After doing this side, go ahead and notch and then do the other side. Take the second piece, place it like what you did before and run a stitch down. Now after doing that, you can now turn it over to see the other side of the pocket and then make your top stitch. Now after opening it out, turning it to the right side of the fabric, this is what we have. We will now go ahead and make a top stitch. You will top stitch the upper parts, as you can see on the video. Top stitch the upper parts. You can do double top stitch as well. Then turn to the sides, bend this side flip over to the inside before you make your top stitch on top. Do the same thing on the other side when you're done with this one side. Now this is what we have after making all the stitch and the top stitch. So this side that I mentioned earlier is the part that we have this raise on the sides of the pants, and this upper part will be covered with the cover of the pocket. You can just go ahead and make top stitches on top of it, as many as you want. Top stitch just has a way of beautifying your cargo pants and pockets. Now after doing all of that, I will retake my measurement. I told you earlier that after folding I'll have 8 inches. That's why I cut 9, because I want to use 0.5 to fold on both sides. So now measuring it, you can see I have 8 inches. The next thing I want to do is divide this 8 inches into 3 and then make a little pleat under to give us this baggy effect in the middle. So after doing that, I'll pin the first one, pin the second one, and then this under part that I have not stitched or turned is the part that will be placed on the pant itself. That's the down part that will be placed on the pant. And this baggy effect in the middle will be obvious after you iron it out. Now this is the cover of the pocket that we made earlier. The next thing we'll do now, after doing all of this stitching, you repeat the same thing on the second one. You know we have 2 pockets, one on the left, one on the right, and then we'll introduce the pant trouser itself. This is what we have on the second pocket. I have gone ahead to fold everything, repeat the same thing that I did with the first pocket, and then we'll now introduce the trouser that will be fixing this. Now this is the cargo pants we've made. This is one leg. We've gone ahead to do this upper side pocket. I told you earlier that the video of that side pocket will be posted separately. Now on this side line where the back and the front was joined, which is the side, you introduce your pocket and your tape. Remember we have 8 inches wide on our pocket, so you go to the left side with 4 inches and go to the right side with 4 inches, because the pocket will be on both the back and the front of this cargo pant on the side. Yeah, so now to get where it will start from the beginning, this depends on the length, on your knee length. My knee length is 22 inches and I want the pocket to stop shortly on top of before my knee. So I measured 13.5 inches from my waist down, and then 13.5 inches, if the pocket starts from there, it means 13.5 inches plus 8 inches, that is the pocket, will now give me 21.5 inches, which is still on top of my knee length. Do you understand? Now after taking that 13.5 inches where the cover will be placed, because that 13.5 inches is the beginning of the pocket, so you place the cover first, as you see in the video, pin it down, that's where the cover will be, and then you come down with 0.5 under this cover, then place the pocket itself. So I just marked 0.5 because that will be the small distance between the cover of the pocket and the pocket itself, so that when you open it up, you can freely put your hand inside. Then I went out by 4 inches on both sides, like I said earlier, and then I used my straight ruler to mark it out so that when I'm sewing, I'll sew on a straight line. Now the pocket has been introduced. The first thing we will do, the end of the pocket, that's where the 8 inches stopped downwards, we will place this pocket good size facing each other, which means the bad side of the pocket will face up. Place it down there and make a stitch before you flip it upwards towards the cover of the pocket. So as you see me doing in the video, fold the sides of the pocket, make a straight stitch, flip it over, then you make a stitch on the left and the right sides. After doing that, just watch the video if you do not understand. Now, after making a stitch on the down part and flipping it upwards, the next thing we are going to do now is to make a stitch on this side, the left side and the right side. So you see me folding that side placket we made on the pocket, that is the one that we will match. Make your stitch on top of it and very close to the edge, and make your stitch very straight and neat, because all the stitches you're making in this cargo pants, they are on the outside, so you have to perfect your straight stitch to make this pants trouser. Now after making this is what we have. This cover gives it a little lift on the sides. So after making that stitch on the sides, you would make a stitch, run a stitch on that upper part just to press it down, as you see me doing in the video. We'll repeat the same thing on the other side as well. Now after repeating the same thing on the second side, cut off your threads. This is what you have. As you can see, you can now freely raise it up, put your hand inside your pocket. The sides gives it the lift, the upper part is neatly sewn, the inside is neatly sewn as well. You can go ahead and run a top stitch. Remember I said earlier, remember to top stitch to flatten and lay down the whole thing the way you want it. So after top stitching, we will come to the upper part and stitch the cover. Remember the cover, it is pin that is holding it down, so we'll now make a stitch on the cover of this pocket. Before you start running the stitch on the cover of the pocket, remember to lift up this side pocket that is on top so that you don't sew it mistakenly, make a stitch on top of it. So after raising it up, make a straight stitch on the cover of your pocket, then flip it downwards like you're covering the pocket after that first stitch. After flipping it down, make a top stitch on top. This top stitch will not just make it flat, it will also cover the ruff on the inside, so when you open it up, you will no longer see the first stitch you made. That's the secret. This cargo pocket is very, very simple. Just follow the steps and straighten your hand. Make your stitches very neat. As you can see, after opening the pocket, the inside is very neat, and that is the work of the second stitch that you just made. Now you just place a button or a hook, anything that would hold the pocket down for you, and you are good to go. Very, very simple, guys. Remember to subscribe if you haven't done that already. This is the second leg of the trouser. We'll just go ahead and repeat the same thing that we did for this first one, and then you're done with your cargo baggy pocket. Now we've gone ahead to repeat the same thing we did for the first one on the second one, and this is what we have. The two side pockets are ready, so just go ahead and continue the sewing of the cargo pants. Now the full drafting and sewing of this cargo pants will be uploaded next. The next thing that we'll do here is to just start joining. Now this is the results, guys. Very, very neat, very, very easy to make. So turn on your notification bell so that you will know when I post the full drafting and sewing video of this cargo pants. I hope this pocket was helpful. Remember to like, share and subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.